What's the official cell phone time? Is it 3 yet? Oh, wait. Oh, wait. All right. Is it 3 yet? What's that? Oh, great. All right, so my name is Andy, so I'm the lecturer. My office is just across the street, so it's Kavanaugh Hall. It's the ugly building. It has no windows except for at the top. So it's just across the street. So if you walk in a closet and go inside another closet, you might find my office. But with that being said, you're going to find out that this is a kind of a change as far as the perspective, as far as how the class is taught. So I'll have plenty of time available for office hours to answer questions, whatever it might be. So I live just 10 blocks from here. So I'm pretty much available all the time. Now I have email on my phone. It's a new thing. So I can get emails pretty much all the time, and I get them, and I know they're. It's not a deal where I just get them whenever I get on the email. So I pretty much here all the time. So don't feel like as far as the way the class is structured, as I'll explain, that means I'm not around. I'm always around, and I'm here to help you. I'm here to give you as much of me as possible. And so my email, bakeran@iupy.edu. In terms of office hours, on Wednesday, 1:15 to 3, so the time slot before. If you have a class during that time frame, trust me, we can meet whenever, wherever, for the most part. So this don't feel like, well, I can't meet during that time. I'm not going to ever see him. No, you can come. Organize a different office hour, and I'll help you answer your questions. All right, for this course we have a required textbook. So this required textbook is written by me. So why did I do this? Last semester is when I wrote this textbook. I did this because I got tired of, first off, expensive books. Books are 150 bucks. I tried to make it as cheap as possible. I asked the textbook company, make it as cheap as you can, and I think it's 70 something. So it's I'm not making anything off this book. But I wanted to do this because I can write it, I can control the content, and because most of you are from Central Indiana, and this might be a negative for some of you, but most of you will work in Central Indiana after you graduate from here. A lot of the concepts, a lot of the textbook is focused on Indiana, Central Indiana, Indianapolis. Well, that makes a hell of a lot of sense because instead, the old books were a guy writing all about Schenectady, New York, and no one knows what's going on there. Not especially not anyone from here. So who wants to tell me where they're from? Where are you from?
Originally from Wisconsin, but now I live here.
Whereabouts here?
Over by Eagle Creek.
Over by Eagle Creek. So that's Eagle Creek. That's a really big asset. But the west side. The west side, you got suburbanization going on further out west. You got Brownsburg growing like crazy, Avon growing like crazy. So when I talk about suburbanization, we can talk about Avon, Plainfield, Brownsburg, places we know, Greenwood, Martins Tucky, whatever. So if you're from Anderson, we can talk about the loss of industry. What are they going to do? They're losing you, I bet. I bet you're not going to go back. I bet if there's a job opening, you might. But there's less opportunities for you. When I graduated high school in 1998, Center Grove High School, Anderson had 3 high schools. Now is it just one? And so that, what's going on there? Deindustrialization. Industry closing down, going somewhere else. Outsourcing. We all like cheap stuff. We all like cheaper stuff at Walmart. Well, kind of an outcome of that is no more jobs in Anderson. Jobs somewhere else. Go on. All right, now run. So the textbook, you can go, I don't know, has anybody purchased it? Did you go to the...
I didn't go to the bookstore.
Don't go to the bookstore. I mean, you can, but wow, that's cool. There's probably a markup there. Probably a markup on it.
85.
85, and so I don't know what you pay, maybe 70. Should be 70 something. And so it'll be probably cheaper going straight through the website, which you can go here. So the website, all right here. This is...
And then tax was $5.25, so...
Yeah, sorry. But I asked for it, I'm making 10 cents a copy. So that's about 2 beers at the bar. Anyway, and so this here, this is, most of you know how to negotiate a website, but if you don't, I try to make it as user-friendly as possible with this illustration. All right, so here's the technology requirement. What this textbook is it's not an actual textbook. It's essentially a website. It's an e-book, but it's a website. So what's going to happen is that's where you're going to find chapters that have text in it, that have videos, so lecture videos in there. It's going to have the quizzes in there. It's going to have discussion forums in there. It's going to have stuff built into it. So essentially think of it as a website. So you're getting access to a website, and you can print stuff. So you can print stuff, and kind of if you like paper copies, you can do that. But obviously you can't print a video. So what this is I did this redesign of this course. Just quickly, why I'm doing this, why the course is funneled more through a website and not on campus, is I realize times are changing. The era of 3 hours a week, somebody talking for an hour and a half every Monday and Wednesday, we don't do that anymore. It's painful to sit anywhere for an hour. What do we do for an hour anymore besides watch sports all day? So when we think about what's happening, what's changing is this idea of me boring people to tears for an hour and 15 minutes, or hour and 15 minutes after I woke up at 4 a.m. to work on a lecture for 6 hours. It gets defeating. So I decided to change things up, and so I decided to put content online, make these videos, write this textbook, so that you can read this, watch this whenever you want. So you can do it in segments, 20 minutes here, an hour there. Maybe if you want to do it one week, you've got nothing to do, you can do it all at once. So I try to change kind of the flexibility as far as when content is delivered. It doesn't just have to be that at 3 o'clock every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday when I'm talking out loud in front of people. So I'm flipping the classroom. This is a buzzword you might have heard. But essentially, I'm creating this content online. But what that does also is it frees me up more time to work one-to-one, one-to-three with individuals regarding any questions you might have. Also, the book, what hooked me on it is they said that you can do it on your phone, you can do it in an iPad, you can do it on a laptop. So it's essentially multi-deviceable. So it's on all kinds of, when I walk on this campus, what is everyone doing? They're all looking down at the phone, and so let's take advantage of that. Let's put the content there, so maybe you can, get more access to the information rather than catching that one hour lecture when you were awake. All right. So what's going to happen is we have 15 chapters. Each week a new chapter is opened, and then at the end of the week it's closed. So what we have here is 15 chapters, and so week 1, that means chapter 1 is open. So at 12:01 this morning, chapter 1 opened and is available to you until Sunday at 11:59 p.m. So what happens is, one chapter, 1 week. And so next week, 12:01 a.m. on Monday, chapter 2 opens up and becomes available, but chapter 1's closed. Week 3, chapter 3, and so on. So each week we have a chapter. So there's 15 different chapters. And so that's the first thing that gets stuck in the head, is that we have this Monday, 12:01, a new chapter opens, and then at Sunday, 11:59, that chapter closes. 2 minutes later, we move on to the next one. Any questions on the first page? Once again, I'm videotaping this, so I will upload it, send it out to you all.
You said the chapter's closed. If you want to go back to review,
yes.
Are you able?
So you essentially what I mean by that is the assessments, so the quiz and the stuff. You can't do it anymore. So definitely the textbook still is available.
Okay.
The chapters are still available. It's just the quiz, no longer can you take the quiz. Because that's definitely going to be important, as we'll see here when we talk about the exams. All right. Any other questions? All right. So the grading and assessment of learning. Let me zoom in. Top row, can we see that? Yeah, top row, we're good. All right. Assessments of learning. So there are 400 total points in the course. So 15 chapter quizzes, and so every single chapter has one quiz. That one quiz is worth 10 points, and as we'll see here, we'll talk about that in a minute. 10 times 15, 150. So the chapter quizzes combine 150 points of the total for the semester, and for some reason, some people like to put that in percentages. It's 37.5% of your final grade is the chapter quizzes. But if the online class, all they do is take quizzes. But the quizzes can be tough. You can get a couple bad questions you don't understand, and if your grade was entirely based on quizzes, your grade wouldn't be as good as it would be if you had these other assessments, for example, the exams. And I'll talk about the exams here in a minute, but the 3 different exams, none of them are cumulative. So exam 1 covers chapters 1 through 5, exam 2 covers chapters 6 through 10, and then exam 3 chapters 11 through 15. So I'll talk more about the assessments here in a minute. So 3 times 50, 150. So there's 300 of the 400 total points. Other things we got going on are 3 assignments. They have varying point totals. I'll explain more of those here in a minute as well. But the 3 assignments total 55 points. You did have 6 discussion forum posts. Those are going to be completed inside the textbook. You'll see what I mean as you start working with it, especially this first week, because we have the first discussion forum post is available for the week. So those, very simple. Just follow the instructions. Just do the work. And of course, make sure proofread a little bit, capitalize I and all that stuff. So then 6 times 5, 30 points. Finally, the 15 free point activities. And the 15 free point activities are absolutely simple. So just do them. So in chapter 1, you'll see it starts right off with a free point activity. And the free point activity is geography is blank. And you have options, A, B, C, or D. You can click on whichever one you want. You got yourself a point. So what it is throughout the semester, I can take that data, I can take that stuff, I can play with it, massage it, show you graphics, do all this kind of stuff to further enhance the learning of concepts and all that good stuff. Any questions regarding the grading assessments? Like I said, each of these I'm going to break down right now further. Alright, chapter quizzes. So I've already talked a little bit about them, but just like the chapters they're contained in, Chapter 1 quiz became available at 12:01 a.m. and then it'll become no longer available or close at 11:59 p.m. this Sunday. So what it is it's a 10-question multiple choice quiz in which you have 20 minutes to complete those 10 questions. That's been shown, 20 minutes is shown to actually be just a little tad too much, since most people finish on average in 10 minutes, but nonetheless it should be plenty of time to complete the quiz. Further, I don't know what you're doing when you take these quizzes. I'm not peering through your webcam or anything. So you can open up books, you can have a professional geographer sitting next to you, you could have a friend, you could take this as a whole class, you can do whatever you want. I can't control that. That's stuff that's out of my means. So keep that in mind. Use all the resources that you have. Whatever techniques are best for you. Some people are note takers. That's how they get. That's how they succeed in class. Is just taking notes. So you can just follow along and take notes. Other people like to get out their PowerPoint, make their own PowerPoints of stuff. Do that. Do whatever whatever will help you do as good as possible on everything, especially these quizzes. Anything else with the quizzes? Questions there? One attempt. That's life. You get one attempt in life too. Allegedly. Alright, exams. So there are 3 exams. 3 exams, I already mentioned them, not cumulative, but exam 1 will be at 3 p.m. in this room on Monday, September 28th. Exam 2, 3 p.m. Monday, November 2nd in this room, and then exam 3, December 14th, 3 p.m. And all of them are on Mondays. So we have 3 exams. Each one is 50 points, like I already mentioned. But the exams, and I'll explain this as the early weeks progress, but the exams, how they are, they're written response exams. So on course, in the next few days, let's say next 2 weeks, I'll get the exam 1 review guide on the left-hand side of on course. So what you'll do is you'll click on that, and you'll see about 15 questions. So from that list of 15 questions, I will randomly on exam day pick 5 of them. And so you're to do those. So essentially you already know the questions that will be on the exams, because they'll be provided to you, but you obviously have to prepare for them all because I'm randomly picking 5 from that list. All of that, I'll explain a whole lot more as we get through these first few weeks. Oh, and so also with those exams, you can go ahead and prepare. You can go ahead and, at home, write out what your response would be. Come, organize, meet me in office hours, meet me wherever, and say, what would you give this? So I'd say, yeah, this is great. Or maybe add this. So further, I can even, edit what your, whatever you will be saying on that exam day. Of course, it's a blank sheet of paper. You can't use that. But nonetheless, I can help you prepare. Does that make sense? All right. Questions on the exam? Now let's talk about the assignments. First off, assignment 1 and assignment 2. So these are earlier in the semester. Assignment 1, chapter 2, so week 2. So assignment 1 will be available next week. Then assignment 2, chapter 4, so week 4. So those first 2 assignments, a lot like the discussion forum posts, just do the work, follow the instructions. Do everything as precisely as possible. It's not something where I'm looking for theses and dissertations and all that. Just do the work. You should be fine. It should be a way to boost up some points, get some points, get a higher overall score. But the big one would be the country profile assignment. So the country profile assignment is kind of what separates the haves from the have-nots. So what this is the one chance in which you have an opportunity to kind of showcase your writing skills, your research skills. And so we got, we can do quizzes, we can do some forum posts, but we can also do some writing assignments. And so the country profile assignment, you have 3 options. You're to do only one of them. I'll repeat that a few times if that doesn't get stuck in the head. But the country profile assignments also what's important. They're 40 points. So that's a good, good amount of total points. But what they are at the end of the semester, when I look at the final grades and say, well, this person's about 2 or 3 points off. How they do in their country profile assignment. If they knock it out of the ballpark, then I'll bump them up. So it's really what I use kind of at the end as far as, okay, do they understand it or not? Further, a lot of you are just good quiz takers. Some of us just aren't good at it. But what this is an opportunity to say, you know what, Andy, on those quizzes, I didn't showcase that I really know this stuff. But by gosh, on this assignment, I'm really going to showcase it. I have all the time in the world. I got 2 weeks to complete. I got all this time to work on. I got you helping me. So I'm going to showcase it via this written assignment. So it's different ways you can showcase mastery of concepts. So each of these country profile assignments, these different options, as I'll explain here in a minute, each of them you have 2 weeks. 2 weeks to complete them. So they'll become available and then they'll close. Lastly, on these, before I go into individually, these are the only things, the only assignments, the only assessments, the only anything that you don't complete in the textbook. This you'll actually complete on on-course. Of course, the exams are in here, so everything else is in the textbook, but here, the country profile assignment, you'll find it on on-course, and you'll see a lot of emails to remind you throughout the semester. All right, let's talk about the country profiles. So what these are is application of concepts. So you can get out your Encyclopedia Britannica and tell me all about some random stuff about your country, but it does no good. And so what you're going to be doing is you're going to be given a random country. 190-some countries in the world. You'll give a country you probably never heard of, and the idea isn't so much to learn about the country and tell me all about the funny things or great things or cool beaches there. It's application of concepts. So you take your country that you'll be randomly given. You'll take your country and then you'll learn about it and apply concepts to that country. So option 1. Option 1 will become available September 21st at 12:01 a.m. And so it'll suddenly appear in on-course. That's also where you'll find out which country you'll have for all of them. So you'll see a list of countries, you'll see your user ID, and you'll figure out which country you've been given, and you have 2 weeks to complete it. Once again, it's optional. You don't have to do this one. So if you don't do this one, obviously you have to do either this one or that one. So option 1 covers chapters 5 and 6, so demography, migration. So if that stuff that's of interest to you, go for it. If you really enjoy those chapters, if you're like, man, I'm really grasping the stuff, go for it. As you can see, full disclosure, full transparency, the average grade from last semester was a 34 out of 40. So the highest of the three. Why is it the highest? Usually the pretty ambitious students, the ones that do the work early in the semester, are your type A's that are also good, really good students. And so I think that's what's going on, but I haven't fully investigated. Also, maybe I just taught it well, I don't know. But it is probably my favorite stuff to teach. So that's option one. If you don't want to do that one, fine, just do option 2 or option 3. But if you do that one, you're done for the semester. No more country profile assignments for you. Option 2. Option 2 opens October 5th. You'll have the same country, so the same list will be on all 3 of them. So option 2 opens October 5th at 12:01 a.m. and then closes October 18th at 11:59 p.m. So 2 weeks, just like option 1. This will cover economic geography, and for some reason, this is the lowest one as far as the number of people attempting or submitting an option or submitting an assignment. Probably because that word right there freaks people out for some reason. But if you're interested in international business, let's say SPIA, what are the other acronyms? TCEM, potentially. International Studies, potentially. Kelly. This might be right in your wheelhouse. So for some of you interested in international business, I mean, those students can really knock this thing out because they already have a kind of an understanding of some of the core ideas. So that'll cover chapters 7 and 8, which are also open at the same time. The average grade 33. Finally, our last option, option 3, November 9th is when it opens and closes November 22nd. This is the one by far the most number of people do. It's probably because we're mostly all procrastinators. I was making a syllabus about 11:30 this morning. I taught at noon too. So we're all like that. So I think that's probably why it's the last one. So it's kind of like, all right, let's wait till the end. So I think that's why the grade might be lower. Is I get a lot of people that just turn half in. Their work's half done, or some people just like 2 paragraphs. And so I got to give those low grades. And so that might be what's causing that average to be lower. But I also think why students like it is younger students like urban issues. More people moving to cities, especially an urban school like this. Indianapolis is growing, but also environmental issues. Younger people are more interested in environmental issues than older individuals. So those are the country profile assignments. Any questions there? Just have to do one. But choose wisely. So if you do this one, you don't like your grade, and say, oh, can I do this one? No, one shot. Yeah.
And we won't know what country we're given until it opens on the 21st.
Yeah, so I'll just wait. In a couple weeks, I can probably have that list. I just want to, once everyone adds to the class, I'll get the whole roster and get everyone, and then just do all the massaging that list. But I'm just going to wait to get more people, and spread the word. The enrollment's down huge. I taught this course in 2010, and there were 72 people in the room. I don't know what's going on. You'll find out the class average is like a B+. That's not bad. I don't know why. Rate my professors, they love me. Anyway, so I don't know what's going on, but I think it's the School of Liberal Arts is in the tank, but that's a whole other thing. All right. $5 million in the hole in the last 2 years, School of Liberal Arts. All right, discussion forum posts. So discussion forum posts, I've already mentioned these earlier, but you'll find them in chapters 1, 3, 6, 10, 12, and 13. So this week, there's a discussion forum post, and simple. All I'm asking you is to describe where you come from. So you can talk about, I know that's bad English, but whatever, I'm a Hoosier. So you can describe whatever place you feel is your home. Could be, Indianapolis, if you're from Anderson, talk about Anderson. If you talk about Wisconsin, talk about whatever. So that's all it is. It's describing your hometown, kind of thinking about the idea of place, which I describe in the first chapter. I talk about what is a place, kind of lead you to the things that you're going to write about. But it's simple. Just talk about where you come from. You can't plagiarize that. So I also try to design plagiarism-proof assignments. Yeah, you can go to Wikipedia and find Anderson, Indiana, and copy and paste it. It's obvious. Tell me, just be honest. Just tell me how you feel. So that's a lot of the discussion forum posts that you'll do inside the textbook. Most of them will you just submitting your thoughts. But if you want, you can comment on other people's thoughts. Now, it can get dangerous, especially in this whole Democrat-Republican era we're living in. But nonetheless, be friendly, be civil, what have you. But so most of the time, it's not going to be much of a discussion between students. I realize that, but nonetheless, you can all see other people's comments and maybe learn stuff. And maybe if you really want to dig in deeper, take a look at them all. Discussion forum posts, 5 points. Once again, do the work. Should be a nice, simple, easy 5 points. All right. Next up, we have the free-point activities. I've already spent a lot of time talking about these, considering how little they are, just 1 point. They'll be scattered throughout the textbook. Like I said, you'll find the first free-point activity right smack dab at the beginning of the first chapter. Not every chapter has one. Some chapters, I think, have 3, and a couple of chapters have 0. So they're just scattered throughout, you'll see them. They'll be labeled quite clearly. If you miss one, just let me know. We can maybe figure out, since it is just a point. But once again, another way we can earn points and really get a good grade. All right, now, can I keep on going? Now, this is a lot going on here, but puts it all together. And also kind of explains the format of the course. So as I've already explained, each week, we got a new chapter. So a new chapter every week. And so a week will begin 12:01 on a Monday and then close, obviously, the following Sunday at 11:59 p.m. And so you can do all of it on Monday. You can do all of it on Sunday. You can do a little bit of Monday, Tuesday, whatever way helps you do the best. So you can see also the chapters. And so as we go throughout the semester, 15 chapters will be covered over the course of the semester. What we got going on, though, is with these colors. And so this is a hybrid course. And so it's all online. You can do it all online. You can complete it all. But I also have added discussion meetings. And so as you can see here, these discussion meetings are labeled in green or colored. Anybody colorblind? Last semester I had a guy who was like, no, that ain't green. And we found out he was colorblind. So I was like, all right. But okay, so we all know our reds, yellows, and greens. So the greens are the dates in which we will meet in here. I will be in here and we'll have a discussion. So with the discussion meetings, this is something that last semester really was the high-achieving students who wanted more. They kind of felt like, yeah, the book was great, but man, I wanted more. I want you, which is weird, I know, but I want to ask you questions. I want to interact with you. I want to learn more from you. So I said, all right, I'll create these discussion forums. And I obviously asked them before what their thoughts on them. So these discussion meetings are relaxed, interactive, in which we're discussing various things. Could be an assignment that's available that week. Could be a country profile assignment. Maybe ask me about your country, I'll get out the data, and we'll all learn from how to kind of investigate a country profile assignment. It could be an exam review. So it could be exam review, for example, exam 1 review will be on one of these days. So essentially, it's an opportunity for us to have a discussion, for you to ask questions. I'll try to do the camera thing every time and bring the camera to record it, so even if you're not here, that's completely all right. Those are the only times in which we'll actually meet on campus, in which I will for sure be here and we'll have an interaction and discussion. The yellow dates. Those yellow dates are the three exam dates. So after today, we'll only meet on Mondays 3 more times. So I guess we won't have a case of the Mondays too much in here. I guess the best part about that is these discussion meetings, completely optional. Don't have to be here. But if you do, I'll give you 2 bonus points. So essentially, you can earn 20 bonus points if you come to them all. But with that being said, it's kind of a cell phone free zone. That's kind of put down the laptops. It's just kind of, it's 45 minutes. It's not a full hour and 15. 45 minutes is designed for me to help and interact. And so if you're just going to come here and just not do anything, I won't give you the points. If a lot of people are doing that, well, let's kick you all out. Well, no points for anyone. So it's designed for those who actually want to learn stuff, those who actually care. And so if you come, you'll get 1 point for attending and another point for being here at the end. So I'll take notes. As you'll find out, I'll memorize everyone's name in probably 2 or 3 weeks, whatever. So I'll be able to know when you're here and when you're not here. Anyway, so you can earn up to 20 bonus points just by coming to these discussion meetings. So that's why, on average, people do better on the on-campus section of this course than the online section. That's that. So the red days up there, we will not meet. So there's a couple Wednesdays where we won't meet. But with that being said, it's not like on Mondays I'm at the bar for the whole entire day. I'm around, you know, and so don't think of this. So Mondays are oftentimes a good time for you to, you know, come in at 3. Because obviously you have something you're supposed to be doing at 3 o'clock every Monday. Come in and chat. Organize a meeting with me. So it's kind of, you know, once again, flipping the classroom and then, you know, providing more one-to-one, 1-to-3 individual learning and teaching and all of that. And finally, a last way to kind of visualize this, people freak out when they see tables, but this is more for those type A people, the people that have to have a checklist, the people that have to have that feeling of saying, yep, I did it. So here's essentially all the assessments. So you'll go through each week, and so if you're ever confused, I don't know what I have to do this week, you'll see there in the assessments of the week, each week, which you have stuff to do. Now this does not include, obviously, discussion meeting bonus points, it doesn't include the free point activities, and it doesn't include the country profile assignments, but I've already explained those as far as when those are. Questions about absolutely anything?